So the last frozen dinner video we did, I kept talking about how those Marie calendars that we did were $2.79 and that's really cheap for a frozen dinner. I kept thinking, what if I can find some cheaper than that? So I went to the Dollar General or whatever the hell they call it now and I found these. They were $1 and change, like $1.59 for the top four. The bottom ones, which are a little bit bigger because they're like their grande meals, were $2.79. But these were legitimately $1.59 per meal. So I said, how bad or good can these be? Let's find out today. The first one up is this Cheeseburger Mac. I just opened these obviously because you have to cook these for 3 minutes and then you have to open it, stir it, and then put it back in for additional 2 minutes. From what I saw, most of these take about that time, about 5 minutes, 4 minutes or so. It doesn't look that bad. Again, I paid $1 and change for this, but there's little pieces of like hamburger meat. There's really not much in here at all. I would say like these little crumbles, possibly like 7 or 8. But it costs $1.50. So if this is passable, I'm not going to be mad at it. It's passable. It tastes like Hamburger Helper, but with not as good beef. Like, obviously, when you make Hamburger Helper, it's the same stuff in a box, but then you're adding your own ground beef, which is much better. But I would eat this before KFC's mac and cheese. And that's saying something. I don't hate this. I actually think for what I paid for it, it's pretty damn good. You put some salt, pepper, a little hot sauce on here, and you've got yourself a meal. The noodles, the Mac noodles are like a little chewy. It's $1. What the hell do I care? Frozen dinner scale, like being real though, I'd probably give this like a 5.5 out of 10. But I would eat this. If I was in college, I'd buy like 30 of these and just keep them in my freezer at all times. We're off to a roaring start. This seems to be a really popular frozen meal because every place seems to have one of these, every company, I should say. Fettuccine Alfredo with chicken and broccoli. I got a fork here too, right? Yeah, switch this over real quick. Same thing, 3 minutes, stir, cover, 2 minutes. This looks identical to the Marie calendars. Now, I will say this, it is $1.50, yes, but the portions are a little smaller, obviously. But even with that, it looks identical to the Marie calendars version. The only big difference is that the chunks of chicken are like little diced pieces, where the Marie calendars ones were like chicken strips. But other than that, identical. This is better than the Marie calendars one. Hands down. The Alfredo sauce has a much better consistency where the other one was super runny. This is a lot thicker and similar to a jarred Alfredo. If you took this without the funny chicken in it and maybe just added your own chicken or broccoli to it, put it in a bowl and served it to people, they would think that you used jarred Alfredo. And I think that's the ultimate compliment. Again, $1, $2, not half bad at all. And the chicken pieces, there's not much in here. That's the biggest difference I'm noticing. I'm actually shocked these are decent. Again, they're not like crazy good for a frozen dinner, but they are more than passable. Same idea. Little pepper, a little hot sauce, a little Parmesan cheese, whatever you want to throw on this to doctor it up, you can definitely get by. I wish this existed like this when I was in college. Did it exist? I don't know. I ate too many Hot Pockets in college. But I like this even better than the first one. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. 6 for $1.70 or $1.59 is still really damn good in my opinion. This is their 5-cheese ziti. Same idea. I believe this one only took 4 minutes as opposed to the 5. It was 2.5 minutes and then stir, repeat for another minute or minute and a half. So this took a little bit shorter. It looks like the stuff they serve. This looks like school lunch again to me. I don't know how your school lunch was, but we always had like a fugazi pasta day. I guess maybe that's just a Jersey thing. And this looks almost identical to the little funny ziti noodles that they have. But I'm going to keep saying the same thing. For what I paid for this, this doesn't look half bad. I immediately look at this and say, okay, I want to throw some cheese or some Parmesan. If you have like some Kraft Parmesan, I'm thinking cheap here, or like, you know, some great value Parmesan topping, just throw that on here. And you could get by with it. It tastes like a fancier Chef Boyardee. The sauce is definitely better than Chef Boyardee, but the consistency, the noodle shape, everything else like this, I'm actually shocked I don't hate these. And I'm judging these based off of every frozen dinner that I've ever had. I have to continuously say that or people won't get where I'm coming from. I would eat these before those Dolly Parton ones any day. And it's not just the price. I think this actually tastes, for a frozen dinner, decent. It really isn't bad. All I keep thinking is college or like you just trying to be a budget baller. I would stock the fridge with these. I really would. I'm in shock. And this one, I think if you add stuff to more than the other ones, could be even better than what it costs. So, frozen food scale, we're going up. I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. I'm pleasantly surprised. I was in the dollar store. I was like, bro, I'm just going to get these. Why the hell not? So, there you go. Next up, we have the frozen dinner staple, the Salisbury Steak. If this is your first time watching this, I do have to give a disclaimer. I really, even in the days that I did eat some frozen meals growing up, I really just did not care for the mystery meat like meatloaf or like Salisbury steak. And that is what this is. I'm going to take this right out of the gravy with the mashed potatoes and just show you. If you're like weird about that stuff, look away because it's this floppy burger thing with some gravy on it. You get one burger patty with some gravy and some mashed potatoes. This thing is hot as hell. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to hold this. I might have to actually just give me a second here. I have to just pull this off to the side real quick because I can't cut it and do all this at the same time. We're going a whole bite with the Salisbury, the mashed, and the gravy. I hope I don't burn my mouth. I should have waited for it to cool a little bit. If you care for those frozen funny meat patties, some of y'all do. And I'm not judging y'all. Just for me, no. This surprisingly actually isn't like super mushy. It is a little mushy, a little rubbery, but again, dollar patty. The gravy tastes better than the Marie Callender's one that I had, and the mashed potatoes are the same instant one. The thing that makes this to me better is the damn gravy, which a little more deeper of a beef flavor than the one we had with the meatloaf, which was, I don't know what day I recorded that or put this out compared to, but for me, it was like 4 days ago. I couldn't get past the funny beef, but the rest of this is pretty good. So I'm going to give this a 5, but if you like the funny beef, then I think you'll like this even more. The gravy and the mashed, I would totally, if you've ever had like jarred gravy, which is another thing I did in college, like Heinz makes a brand, that's what it tastes like. So it's not half bad. These are better. These are better. So now we finally graduated to the grandes, and what these are is they're marketing these as obviously more food. They are noticeably bigger. The other ones are 8 ounces, where this is 13 ounces. This costs $2 and change. I think it was like $2.70, and it says it has 22 grams of protein. But this is their rigatoni Alfredo with chicken and broccoli. Frozen dinners, they absolutely love to put Alfredos out there. They love it. Hold up, man, because I don't want a hot-ass Alfredo sauce on me. These are the exact same cook times as the other one. The only difference is your initial cooking is 4 minutes instead of 3, and then you put it in for an additional 1. You can go to 2, so they might be 6 depending. But this one, way more, this is a weird word I'm finna use, but I'm just going to use it because that's the first thing I thought of. This is way more robust than the other ones. It seems to be a lot thicker of an Alfredo again. The noodles are a lot bigger. The broccoli pieces are a lot bigger. The chicken pieces are the exact same size, though. You know they're going to get over on that damn protein. But fatter noodles, and let's get some broccoli in here. And here you go. Here's your close-up. This looks decent. I'm going to be honest with you. Who's this? What's this person's name? Michelina. Okay. Not bad. I'm going to say it again for the 50th freaking time. I walk in with expectations of a frozen dinner. I'm not expecting even Olive Garden. For my expectations and what I just ate, not bad. The Alfredo was thicker. It is kind of bland. You can season it, doctor it up, and do what you have to do. It's not like completely out of flavor, but it's pretty close to it. The biggest thing is the sauce is consistent, and this meal seems a lot heartier, even than the other one, which was the Marie Callender's, which had a similar price point. This is more food, and it's better than that. I wouldn't go out of my way to eat these. But target demographic, cheap eats, Dollar General, college students, people who are trying to budget, people who want something quick they can throw in a microwave at work or after work. This isn't bad. For $2.79, I keep saying the same thing, and I'm going to stand on business. I would stock the fridge. And make sure you got some seasonings too, though. I'm going to also give this a 7 out of 10. I keep saying the same thing, and I'm going to say it again. If I was in college, I would have stocked the fridge with these. And I would have had like some salt, pepper, some seasoning, and garlic powder, something from the Dollar General, and I would have been off to the races. That's an ultimate compliment for something like this. These are decent, cheap eats for frozen meals. And finally, let's end it off with something that I saw, and I was like, this is different. This is bacon Parmesan linguine. So there are little pieces of bacon in this. Same idea. 3 minutes, you cook, then you stir it, then you put it back in for another 2 minutes. There's little pieces. I already stirred this, so you're not going to be able to like catch the bacon as much, but noodles look a little mushy. This sauce looks noticeably runnier, and it doesn't look as good, but here's a piece of that pale-ass bacon that is in here. Again, my expectations aren't crazy because I only paid like $2.50 for this. This is also hot as hell. Here, let me grab this. There we go. Ingenuity. All right. There's one more piece. Just look at this so you can get one more before I start shoveling this into my mouth. I'm not mad at it. They're definitely pieces of bacon. They're almost like little, you ever buy those bacon bits in a jar? Same idea. So they have that like kind of, they're not crispy. But again, I don't expect them to be. And even though I said something about this Alfredo, there is a different taste to this where you definitely get the Parmesan. It tastes like budget carbonara to me. When people think they're making carbonara and they use like that Parmesan thing and there's no like egg yolks or anything in it, this is what comes out. College kids will eat this up. $2.79. I'm really thoroughly impressed because this punches well above its weight class. We've done a few of these now, and I keep going back to the Dolly Parton because they were the most expensive ones that we did. I really didn't like any of those. These taste better than that. Genuinely speaking, they're much cheaper. You can get 3 of these for the price of 1 of those. And that's where the impressive stuff comes from because they are decent. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel with frozen meals. I actually do enjoy this one as well. I'm going to give it a 7. I just, again, this could almost be a side dish and you had some kind of other thing. And like people use those ready rice and this, I'm thinking cheap college eats again. I also used to use the Voila. They're like $1. They came in a bag with those pastas. Used to eat those all the time too. This tastes very similar to that. The only difference is it's like a little mushier because it's frozen. But just for a quick meal, man, I'm not mad at any of these, even the Salisbury Steak, which is saying something. Now, I didn't think that on this channel I'd be reviewing frozen dinners, but those other videos in this did so well. People had so many different comments and suggestions that we turned it into a little bit of a series. So there's obviously interest here in recommendations or what I like versus what I don't like, and I appreciate you trusting me with those sorts of things. So I'm going to say this again. For as cheap as it is, those are very good, and I'm surprised that they are. I did this video like a what the hell, and total, this whole thing cost me about $10. Like, you could literally just get all of them and eat them for $10, and you'd probably have yourself just a little funny meal. The only thing that it's lacking on into me is the proteins more than anything for frozen meals, but most frozen meals suck with proteins. If you bought like a bag of like frozen like wings or something like that and had it with that as like cheap eats, W. And that's what I was looking for. I hope you enjoyed this. I have more on the way. I have more in my freezers. I have a bunch that we're going to do. But this was a spur of the moment that I just said, you know what, we're going to skip those, go to this one, and then go to the next one. So there's no outro on this channel, man. I hope you guys enjoy this.